as moments are made here.
Good morning, America. Crisis at the border. President Trump now says immigrants who enter the U.S. illegally should be sent back immediately with no hearing from a judge. This as questions grow about the fate of the more than 2,000 kids still separated from their parents, some seen on buses being moved to a processing center. When will they be reunited?
Wildfire emergency. Out of control flames growing. At least 46 fires scorching thousands of acres across the U.S., forcing evacuations across California, Oregon, and Texas. Now, new red flag warnings out this morning.
Roseanne's tearful regrets. The disgraced comedian in an emotional first interview since her hit show was canceled.
I'm so sorry that I, was so unclear and stupid.
What she's now saying about the racist remarks that cost her the show.
Outrage grows after this woman appears to call police over a young girl selling water without a permit. Now that 8-year-old and her mother are speaking out, and the woman in the video tells her side of the story.
Incredible survival. This plane crashing in a neighborhood in suburban Michigan.
Plane is overturned and on fire.
And then this happens. How did he possibly make it out alive?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
And we do say good morning, America, on this Monday morning. Wonderful to have Cecilia Vega with us this week.
And look who came back.
Yeah, I decided to come back.
You did come back.
I did get a little sun. It was a great break.
Good.
The kids are off to camp now, and we're back to work.
Yes, we are.
And we are going to begin with that crisis on the border. The latest over the weekend, some families have been reunited, but this morning, more than 2,000 migrant children still separated from their families. How and when they will see their parents, still open questions.
A big question. This as President Trump doubles down on his hardline immigration stance, now saying those who cross over illegally should be sent back without due process or appearing before a judge. Our chief White House correspondent, John Karl, has more on all this. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Robin. With growing confusion surrounding the fate of the children who have been separated from their parents at the border, the president now says he wants to take an even harder line on illegal immigration. President Trump is now taking his hardest line yet on those who cross the border illegally, declaring via Twitter, "We cannot allow all these people to invade our country. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them back from where they came." It's an extraordinary assertion of government power and almost certainly unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has repeatedly held that even non-citizens have some basic rights. It has been long-standing practice that migrants are entitled to due process, a chance to ask for political asylum in the United States. What President Trump suggested here is both illegal and unconstitutional, the ACLU tweeted. Any official who has sworn an oath to uphold the Constitution and laws should disavow it unequivocally. Over the weekend in Las Vegas, the president riled up his supporters by talking up his hard line on immigration.
We're going to have the wall. We've already started it. I don't want judges. I want Border Patrol. I want ICE.
On the border, the fate of most of the more than 2,000 children already separated from their parents is unclear. Some of those children were being moved from a processing center over the weekend in McAllen, Texas. The government has been unable to answer basic questions about how or when most of those children will be reunited with their parents.
These families aren't going to be reunited anytime soon. The conditions that they're going to be reunited under are going to be continued detentions and horrific conditions.
What do we want? Justice!
Also on the border, protests are drawing some celebrities and high-profile Democrats.
The Trump administration should provide evidence for each and every child who has been reunited so that people can see for themselves and we have some accountability.
As for the order that the president signed last week to end family separation, there is a growing realization here at the White House that it is simply not workable and that regardless, the courts are likely to strike it down. As for what happens next, it's really anybody's guess. When I ask officials what their game plan is, they say that ultimately it is up to Congress to fix this problem. And George, there is no indication that that's going to happen.
Yeah, real
soon.
stalemate in Congress right now. Okay, John, thanks very much. Let's dig into this now with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. Let's start with that president's tweet. You know, it's drawing a lot of fire, but I think a lot of people may not realize that illegal immigrants do have constitutional rights.
They have constitutional rights that are not equivalent to citizens. They have limited rights when it comes to everything beyond due process, and then even on due process, they have less due process rights than do regular American citizens, meaning you can have an expedited hearing for an immigrant in the way that you couldn't for a citizen. So they do have rights, but the courts have watered them down quite a bit, particularly in the due process area and particularly in the immigration space.
Right, within the law, there may be some ways to speed up sending immigrants out, even without the full formal hearing that some get now. Let's talk about the executive order as well. As John just indicated right there, a lot of questions about whether this order, which says families should be kept for more than 20 days, can survive the courts as early as this week.
That's right. So there's just this enormous tension between the zero tolerance policy, which basically says we are not going to allow anyone in, and we're not going to release them. And that's the key, the release part. When you talk about release, though, it's supervised release, right? The question is, for example, should you be allowing people who are waiting for a hearing to have an ankle monitor or to have bond? These are questions that are constantly being grappled with in this country. And at this point, the administration seems to be saying, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to prosecute them. We're going to hold them. We're not going to release them in any way until their hearings.
The judge has said kids can't be kept for more than 20 days.
So there's a separate rule when it comes to kids. You can't hold them for 20 days. There are specific kinds of facilities that they can be allowed to be in or not be in. And when you start saying the families are going to be together, as of course they should, then the question is, how do we adhere to all these specific rules for children? So it is a real quandary that the administration is in right now.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Cecilia?
The problem is these kids are all over this country right now, from California to New York, so this reunification is going to be an especially difficult task. We do, though, want to now turn to the demand for answers after the deadly police shooting of an unarmed teenager in Pennsylvania. This morning, Antoine Rose's parents are breaking their silence as they prepare to lay their son to rest later today. They are now demanding justice. ABC's Kenneth Moten sat down with them for this exclusive interview. Good morning, Kenneth.
Good morning, Cecilia. Hundreds of people from this community are expected to attend the funeral for Antoine Rose, which is being held here at his high school. There will be no protest today, as so many in this community pay their respects to Antoine and his parents. All of this is being done out of respect for them after they told us they want the officer who took their son's life to be held responsible. As hundreds lined up for 17-year-old Antoine Rose's wake Sunday, his grieving parents spoke out.
I miss my baby.
This morning, they are adamant there was nothing justified about the death of their son shot by police.
He murdered my son in cold blood. If he has a son, I pray his heart never has to hurt the way mine does.
As we learn more about the cell phone video that captured the moment the unarmed teen was hit 3 times last week by East Pittsburgh police officer Michael Rosfeld as he ran away from a traffic stop.
It was like he was taking target practice out on this young man's back. He didn't flinch. He didn't say stop running. He didn't say anything.
The 23-year-old witness who asked us not to show her face, telling us about her decision to record that cell phone video.
It was the tone of the officer's voice, his tone. He was very harsh. He was screaming.
The car Antoine was riding in was suspected of being involved in a drive-by shooting. Police say they found 2 guns inside the vehicle after Antoine was shot and an empty gun clip in his pocket.
The ones that say Antoine shouldn't have been in the car, to that you say,
My son is dead. For all those people that say that, their son must be at home.
The shooting has sparked massive protests.
Keep fighting. Do it peacefully.
Antoine's mother shared with demonstrators a poem he wrote 2 years ago for a class.
I see mothers bury their sons. I want my mom to never feel that pain.
That's not just a poem. That is the life of many, many young African-American males. It was just that my son wrote it down and he lost his life. My son was truly a beautiful soul. Everyone has stood up. and I'm hoping that it changes the world.
Antoine's parents didn't want to talk about the alleged circumstances that led up to the shooting. Officer Rossfeld is said to be cooperating with this investigation. We haven't heard back from his attorney, Cecilia.
Okay, Kenneth, thank you.
And the family is very grateful for the video that was taken by a bystander, and it's just chilling that he wrote that poem. What happened. We are, thanks to Kenneth. Now to those wildfires that are burning out west, at least a dozen buildings already destroyed, hundreds more threatened by a fast-growing fire in Northern California. Will Carr is on the ground in Lake County, California, and Will, we know thousands have been ordered to evacuate there. Good morning.
That's right. Good morning, Robin. Thousands waiting to get back into this community after this fire raced through. It burned the tractor. Next to me, you can see it destroyed this home. Check out this ironing board. It's charred. These cars are gutted. The garage door here twisted. This morning, nothing left. Crews battling fierce flames overnight. The Pawnee fire, one of more than a dozen burning in California, exploding on Sunday, scorching 7,700 acres, destroying at least 12 homes and buildings, and threatening 600 more in Lake County. The fire, 0% contained, fueled by erratic winds, low humidity, and blistering temperatures. These flames are eating through the bone-dry brush behind me. The flame's so hot you can feel it on your skin. And check out how close it is to nearby buildings. More than 200 firefighters attacking from the air while jumping on hot spots. A dangerous game of whack-a-mole near John Mathis's home.
Oh, it looked like a war zone last night. It sounds like one today.
At one point, the fire cutting off the main road, trapping residents looking to escape.
Firefighters have quite a challenge on their hands out here, but they're fighting this fire aggressively, both from on the ground and in the air.
In scenes like this, an all too familiar sight here in California. Last year, the state had both its largest and its most destructive fires ever. And keep in mind, we're still early on in fire season this year.
We are keeping that in mind. All right, well, thank you. And those dry conditions are also fueling fires in Texas. At least 10 fires there overnight, forcing mandatory evacuations. Ginger, of course, tracking it all for us. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, good morning, Robin. 43 large wildfires from Alaska, where many of them are, to New Mexico. And yes, these new pictures out of Sweetwater, Texas. That's Nolan County, where 10 fires alone burn overnight. And this is actually a cause of 105 degrees as a high temperature in Abilene, plus 43-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And guess what? It's not getting better. We put the hottest temperatures this week on the map. They happen to fall tomorrow afternoon. It'll be close to 120 in Death Valley, Fresno 103, 101 Redding. And look at Abilene. They'll be close to 100 again. So you take that plus the dry conditions, and you have the antithesis of what's happening in the middle of the country. Up to 5 inches of rain falling in Iowa, severe storms, and that forecast coming up in just a couple of moments. But for now, George, back to you.
Okay, Ginger, we're going to turn now to a mysterious killing in California, where a father out camping with his 2 young daughters was shot to death through their tent. ABC's Kana Whitworth is at Malibu Creek State Park with the latest on the investigation. Good morning, Kana.
George, good morning. It is a desperate search right now after authorities say a father was shot and killed here at Malibu Creek State Park while he was camping. Authorities say they responded to a 911 call just before 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and they found 35-year-old Tristan Bodette dead inside his tent with his little girls, just 2 and 4 years old. Now, they were unharmed. Friends say Bodette was a brilliant chemist who loved camping. He was here with his girls, their mother at home. She is studying for an upcoming exam. Now, this place is incredibly popular among tourists who flock here to take the short hike in to see the set of MASH. It's also popular among Hollywood directors. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, along with the original Planet of the Apes, all filmed here. And this morning, authorities say they have no suspect and no leads, but they are treating this as a homicide. George?
Okay, Kana, thanks. What a strange and sad story.
It really is. Now to Serena Williams, back on the court after giving birth. With Grand Slam season, as you know, underway, she's fighting for a fair seeding. The tennis icon is not currently ranked among the best players in the world, but that could be about to change. Adrian Bankert is here to explain all this for us. Good morning.
Good morning to you too, Robin. Good morning, everybody. You know, it's no secret that Serena Williams is arguably one of the best, if not the greatest player of all time. But since her comeback from maternity leave earlier this year, she's been fighting to protect her ranking and tournament seeding. There she is with her sweet little girl. In her 13 months off the court, she slid from #1 in the world to 454th. She's clawed back to 183rd, but she wasn't a top seed at her first Grand Slam since returning the French Open. Officials there took some heat for that. I mean, after all, she's won the French Open 3 times. The snub sparking talks about how to fairly address new moms missing court time without them taking a hit. So this week, Wimbledon officials are set to decide whether or not she can actually hold her place there. But we're already seeing some change stateside. The U.S. Open announcing they will not penalize players whose rankings drop because of breaks due to pregnancy starting this year. USTA President Katrina Adams tells the New York Times, quote, "We think it's a good message for our current female players and future players that it's okay to go out, be a woman, become a mother, and then come back to your job, and that is a bigger message."
Even John McEnroe is coming out in support and saying the same thing that Katrina did.
That's right.
You know, on the surface, it seems pretty simple, but can you just hold someone's seating prior to pregnancy?
Yeah, you think it would be really, really easy, right? But it's not crystal clear exactly how the USTA plans on being fair to these new moms who decide to take a break because of pregnancy and to the players who've continued to play. I mean, that could be sticky.
But do you want to face Serena in the first round?
That's the thing.
I mean, would you rather she have ever?
Exactly.
But I mean, would you rather she had her bye because she's a seeded player and face her later?
Yeah, seeding. The whole point of seeding is to make sure that the best players play at the end.
Yes.
So we will see how they work all this out. They say they're going to consider moms.
Okay. Thank you very much. And good for Katrina Adams for speaking up.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Her daughter is the absolute cutest also. We do want to turn now to a frightening hot air balloon crash in Michigan. This one, though, thankfully comes with a happy ending thanks to 2 fishermen who happened to be in the right place at the right time. ABC's Whit Johnson is here with this story. Whit, talk about some luck.
Absolutely. Cecilia, good morning to you. Witnesses coming to the rescue, likely preventing this balloon collision from becoming a much worse disaster. Take a look at the incredible video right here. That impact, sparks flying when that Michigan festival goes horribly wrong.
This was the moment a hot air balloon ride took a terrifying turn in Howell, Michigan. Watch again as the lone pilot tries to land but comes in too low, crashing into power lines. He survived, but the explosion igniting the basket, sending the balloon soaring back into the sky as bystanders watch helplessly.
We have a balloon that hit the power line. He's going down in the water.
The charred balloon landing in a nearby pond. 2 fishermen scrambling to pull the pilot from the smoldering basket.
He was kind of flailing away and yelling, and then that's when he broke free.
I thought when we got over there that it wasn't going to turn out so well, but it did.
The pilot, who is miraculously unharmed, was towed to land along with his balloon.
We just had the pilot and he was holding onto the balloon.
Now this morning, federal aviation authorities are investigating what caused the balloon to come down on those power lines.
In a statement, the Michigan Challenge Balloon Fest director emphasized that there were no injuries. They are working with authorities to determine the cause. That pilot, so lucky the pond was nearby and those fishermen able to jump in and help.
I don't know if I'm a hot air balloon kind
Not
of
ready for the balloons?
I don't know.
I think I'm with you on that one.
Sorry, George.
Thanks a lot. Let's go back to Ginger.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that balloon like, whoa, all right. We've got to talk about the severe storm, something else in the sky that you go, whoa, especially if you're in Steamboat Springs, where you don't see this too often. That's a funnel cloud. There were more than 270 severe storm reports in just the last 24 hours. And today, 2 pockets from central Iowa and northern Missouri right down to South Carolina. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, though, the Select Cities, sponsored by CarMax.
At CarMax, we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. Because maybe you're already buying a car somewhere else, or maybe you want to shop around, or maybe you don't want to drive a car at all anymore. Like maybe you want to ride a camel into the desert and take a deep, hard look within. Just figure some stuff out for a while. That's cool. Whatever your plans for buying a car, CarMax is the place to sell your car. Okay, let's do this, Tina. Here we go. I believe in you, Tina. Come on now. We could just hang out.
Well, feeling really great stepping outside the front door this morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s now. By lunchtime, 80 degrees. More clouds this afternoon, but very comfortable with lower humidity. Highs today in the low 80s. Tonight, very refreshing with clear skies to partly cloudy skies. 54 to 64, so very nice getting out tomorrow morning. Your Tuesday, sunny, 81. More humid Wednesday, 83. We'll have some late day showers and thunderstorms. And Thursday, hot with a 30% chance of late day storms.
When we come back, Roseanne Barr in that emotional first interview since she lost her show. We're going to have what she's saying about the racist remarks that cost her the hit.
And we also have the stunning survival story, a plane going down in a neighborhood outside of Detroit, and then the moment a young man suddenly makes it out alive. Come on back.
We all want white teeth. You know, Doc, how can I get